Hey, what's going on? It's me, Tom Gulley. And you might be wondering, Tom, why are you talking at the beginning of the show? Well, there's two reasons. And good questions, by the way. First reason is we're now converting all these live shows into audio podcasts. And some people get kind of freaked out when they hear 7 minutes of music at the start of ostensibly a talk show format podcast. This is to let them know, oh yeah, we're going to get to that part, but we do play a little music here to get it started so people can walk into the room in our live broadcast, get in the chat room, say hi to each other, so they can aggregate, collect, gain an audience. The second reason is, I never thought in a million years that I would do a show that was so heavily associated with spiders. I mean, I did a show on spiders just as a lark, and then people really, well, if history's taught me anything, spiders mean viewers. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. And tonight we'll be covering the Sydney funnel web spider, which has the most poisonous venom of any spider on Earth, which means we should get a lot of viewers and hopefully listeners. Although maybe that'll scare people away. I don't know. I'm not God. I don't decide these things. At any rate, tonight, because of that, we'll be playing one of the many songs our musical director, Leon Kennedy, has created for the show. Appropriately, and this is a very popular one, by the way, The Night the Spiders Attacked. I know. And then we have a brand new song. It's our holiday song. So with all that in mind, here's about 7 minutes of music, and then we'll do the regular show, if indeed you're listening on our audio-only version.
It was late, one even smooth and mellow and sweet. Tom Gulley on the airwaves laying down that beat. He heard a little rustle, tapping soft and discreet. Turned around and saw some spiders dancing on their feet. All their legs were shiny gold, and the rhythm pure heat. He thought, hold on, baby, these little fellas groove kinda crazy, and the whole room lit like a disco dream. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tack. Tom Gulley smiling, feeling all the impact. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on the night. Oh, the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked. Christian Slater walks in with his Hollywood stride, leather jacket shimmering, grin open wide. He saw those tiny dancers moving side to side. Didn't take a minute for the man to join the ride. Every spider in the room kept the groove amplified. The lights flickered bright like a Motown stage. Silky harmonies floating like we'd turn a new page. Spiders tapping rhythm like a miniature band. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tack. Groove so smooth it bordered on abstract. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on from the treetops, grooving deep within the wood. Frost is dancing on the pane, candles flicker in the lane, spiders sway with all 8 feet, keeping to that perfect beat, and Bigfoot hums that mellow tune underneath the winter moon. It's a very gully Christmas where the joy just rolls along. Spiders tapping in the rafters, Bigfoot singing to the song. Oh yeah, a very gully Christmas feels like magic in the air. Tom Gulley's voice is smooth as snow, and it's ringing everywhere. Everywhere. Come gather round the tree tonight. Let the music hold you tight. Every creature, great and small, feels that gully Christmas call. It's a very gully Christmas, and the world is feeling right. Spiders spinning festive threads, Bigfoot dancing out of sight. Yeah, a very gully Christmas. Let the season sing on through. Tom Gulley brings the soul and cheer like only he can do.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking? Tonight, let me tell you about the Sydney funnel web spider, the most potent venom of any spider on the face of this earth, because apparently that's what you guys like. I'll tell you all about it. Hey, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, especially the like. All the free things that you can do to help us with the algorithm, the almighty, all-powerful, all-knowing algorithm. Plus, we do have super chats. Plus, we do have memberships, if you want. Then we have the PayPal, which, it's all down here in the begging bar. At the bottom of the screen, there's the begging bar. PayPal's the best way. That's where you give the most, I get the most. Google don't get nothing. In addition, you go to the TomGulleyShow.com. We have all of the audio podcasts that are starting to appear there. You can go to Podbean. That's where most of them are. Slowly converting them over to the website. But there's the merch store. And the merch store has a wide variety of top quality name brand items that are sure to add a warm charmth and glow to your Christmas. By the way, hope you enjoyed the new Christmas song for the Tom Gulley Show that Leon Kennedy, our musical director, has provided us. We'll be playing that at the end of the show and other times throughout the holiday season. And when I say other times, I mean every single show from now until Christmas. Anyway, we do have a couple of comments in our chat room. Jared's here. He says, I know one Hollywood star that would really appreciate this episode. Yes, apparently Christian Slater and Billy Zane. I forget who the rest of them are. Not sure that they're the actual stars, but it is their screen name, so I'm willing to take their word for it. Come in here. And are obsessed with spiders, apparently, also. Chris is here. Says, I come for the Tom, but stay for the spiders and the pervitine. Yeah, certain things about the show, people just stick with them. We do so many topics, an almost schizophrenic variety of topics, but spiders, Bigfoot, and pervitine seem to be the big three. Oh, look at that. I'm Sky. Sky, I want you to know, you guys, I used to have a black background for all the text. I changed it just so your spider emojis would show up. You're welcome. By the way, we've got a link open every show. It's pinned to the top of our YouTube chat room. If you want to be on the show, just click that sucker. You do not have to have your camera on. You can just be on by voice. This guy's here. He says H2BH, which means happy to be here. Chris says LFG. I think we all know what that means. I can't really say because it's dirty. Chris is here with spiders and spider webs. The chef is here. He's on the couch checking it out. More spiders. Chris says, surprisingly, there's no emoji for pervitine, just for spiders. I'm very glad that there's no emoji for pervitine since it's vintage World War II German methamphetamine. This guy says, Google is lazy. They could support, Genmoji, but choose not to. Christian Slater, I knew that he would show up. He says, well, did I miss anything? Not yet. We're just about to get into the topic of the Sydney funnel web spider. But you did miss our new holiday song, A Very Gully Christmas. I'll play it again at the end of the show. Julian Caesar says, come to think of it, has this guy ever proven that he's the real Tom Gulley? Do I have any proof of that nearby? If I remember to, tomorrow I'll have my college diploma here close to me. Prove it. Sky says LFG. We've got another H2BH from Crappy at Life. And then Christian's Slater says, no, please play it again. It's 3 minutes long. And I now have the audio podcast people to consider. They don't probably want to hear music. They want to hear the talk show part, which I'm also not doing right now because I'm catching up on the chat room. And Christian Slater provides our commentary with spiders and Christmas cats. Are those cats? Is there emojis? I can't tell. Anyway, we will get, Christian, to some very, very nasty pictures of some equally nasty spiders. All for you. Pronto. Within seconds of now, as a matter of fact. In fact, I'm going to throw one up here right now. This would be a male and a female of the Sydney funnel web, known as Atrax robustus. I'll tell you which one's which here in a second. Let's save it as a secret. This is a species, the Sydney funnel web spider, of venomous megalomorph spiders native to eastern Australia. Now, you're wondering what megalomorph means? Well, that's one of three major groups of spiders with over 3,000 species found on all continents except Antarctica. Now, many members are known as trapdoor spiders because of the trapdoors, but the Sydney funnel web, as we'll find out shortly, does not necessarily, because there's many varieties of the Sydney funnel web, build a trapdoor, but they build something else. It might be in the name of the spider. That was a tease. Yes. It's a member of a group of spiders that they call the Australian funnel web spiders. Most importantly, its bite is capable of causing serious illness or death in humans if left untreated. These babies have a body that's about 1/2 inch to 2 inches. There's a range. They're usually glossy, dark colors, blue to black, to blue-black, to just black. There are shades of brown or dark plum if you're into like heavy-duty paint chip type. You really need the coloring. And now we get to the history a little bit. Octavius Pickard, Cambridge. Yes, that's right. I said Octavius Pickard, Cambridge. was the first to describe the Sydney funnel-web spider from a female specimen housed in the British Museum in 1877. Oh my, I say. Establishing the genus name of Atrax, he named it Atrax robustus. The species name is from the Latin, robustus, meaning robust, strong, sturdy, mature. Some years later, William Joseph Rainbow described a male Sydney funnel-web as a new species, Ectominia tibialis, from a spider he found under a log in Turramurra. Oh dear, and another from Mosman. He coined the scientific name from the ancient Greek ektomenos, meaning well-built, and the Latin tibialis, mean of the tibia, having noted its prominent tibial spur. I say. In the very same paper, he described the female Sydney funnel-web spider as yet another species, Poikilomorpha montana, from a specimen collected from Jameson Valley in Wentworth Falls in the Blue Mountains. Its species name was derived from Poikilomorphia, a variety of form, referring to the eyes of different sizes, and Montana, meaning of the mountains. Yes, well, I say it was very, very gauche, Anyway, how about another spider? You want another spider? There's another spider for you. How about that? Check out those fangs, by the way. Those fangs will become very important here in just a second. Have you got enough of that? Because every now and then I have to put my picture on camera, or there's no reason to do this video. In February, we're not doing the accent anymore. And who knows, I should have been doing the Australian, in February of 1927. Anyway, a young boy in February of 1927 died after being bitten on the hand after playing with a big black spider on the laundry steps of his home in the Sydney suburb of Thornley. Now, can we just take a break for a second? Why would you play with a big black spider? I'm not one of these Darwin people that says, but look, sometimes thinning out the herd needs to happen. And if you're playing with a big black spider, I'm not going to say you had it coming or that you deserved it, but I am going to say I don't disagree with people who say that. Anyway, the young boy fell gravely ill and perished later that evening. Perished means died. Just so those of you rushing to your thesaurus. Public interest in the spiders surged. People said, wow, I want to know more about that spider. Tell me more. And the police brought the dead spider to the Australian Museum, where Anthony Musgrave identified the creature as Ectominia tibialis, as we mentioned earlier. He examined a series of male and female spiders collected around Sydney and concluded, based on anatomical similarities, that Ectominia tibialis was the male Atrax robustus. And then later on, Poikilomorpha montana was classified as the same species in 1988. It took them till 1988, about 100 years. But they finally went, no, this is all the same. This is the Atrax robustus. Can we all quit playing around here? By the way, Atrax robustus sounds way more cool than the other ones. And it is the Atrax robustus, one of 5 species of the genus Atrax. And the Sydney funnel-web spider shares its name with some members of another genus, Hadroniche. It remains together with the northern tree-dwelling funnel-web, the only 2 species of Australian funnel-web spiders known to have inflicted fatal bites on humans. What do you think about that? And by the way, for those of you who don't know, For those of you who are unaware of this, Australia, just about everything there is poisonous. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but they have more poisonous spiders and snakes and plants and breakfast cereals than any country on earth. Trust me on that. We do have a number of comments before I get to the description of the Sydney Funnel Web. We have a lot of comments piling up here in our chat room. Let's see, where did I leave off? People wanting me to prove that I am Tom Gulley. Let's see. Christian Slaters asks, is it a holiday song or a Christmas song? I'm Catholic, but technically Jewish because I'm a Hollywood guy. It's a Christmas song. The chef said, spiders are one thing I have not made in the kitchen. Well, thank you, chef. Although I guarantee you there's some fancy spider dish somewhere in the world. Christian Slater says, wow, those are some great spiders. It is. Christian Slater says, these guys make me a bit nervous but happy at the same time. I don't get it. He then posts more spider emojis. You know, you guys, I know you don't necessarily think this is true, but I've interviewed a lot of famous people in my time. And it's not inconceivable that one day I will meet the actual Christian Slater and I'm going to go, hey man, you've been in my chat room a lot talking about spiders. And he's going to look at me like I'm crazy. Anyway, Goat says, incredible. Christian Slater, again, damn, now that's a great spider pick. Well, thank you. The people on the podcast can't see it, but trust me, folks, it's a really top-notch spider picture. Julian Caesar says, when I was an undergrad, I had an interest in spiders, but all the basic research was in German journals. Pre-World War II, Germans were infatuated with spiders, or more accurately, their silk. That is the way as a German, you know. They like to know about very nasty things, the Germans. More spider emojis. Why wouldn't you play with the big black spider? I don't know. You could perish? Look, Christian, all bugs must die. I don't understand why. You don't understand that. Julian Zeta says, in Sydney, the spiders play with you. Yeah, that's the way it goes there. Julian Zeta says, chef, I just made the best pasta I ever had, and I'm an experienced pasta cooker. Yum. Sometimes I get it right. Well, there you go. Christian Slater says, isn't your co-host Scott Green from Australia? Not a co-host, not a producer. We just let him think he is when he's on the show. That's all. That's all. Yeah, spider silk soup, says Julian Caesar. Yeah, there we go. Christian Slater said, I'd do an interview with you anytime. Well, I'll wait till you're on one of those junkets, those press junkets. So make it a little easier on you. Hey, want another spider picture? Sure you do. There you go. How about that? Oh, come on, man. You know, look, StreamYard's supposed to be helping. They're not helping. They're never helping. I think this is the only StreamYard show I have for this week. And that's the reason for that is the rest of the week I have so many pictures that I'm doing the show on OBS. So if you're for some reason crazy about the StreamYard version, this is your big moment this week. All right, now so the Sydney Funnel Web is medium to large in size with a body length ranging, like I mentioned, 1/2 inch to 2 inches. Both of the sexes are glossy and dark colored, like I mentioned. Another characteristic is the finger-like spinnerets at the end of their abdomen. You can see those kind of sticking out there. The male lives for a shorter time than the female and is, you know, longer legged. So here, let me show you something. So the male is the one on the left. The body, as you can see, is smaller than the one on the right with the giant body, but is like you can also see the legs are much longer. So there's the difference, okay? So the average leg length for the spider is 2 to 2.5 inches long. So the body can be a 1/2 inch to 2 inches. So these are 4 or 5 inch spiders. They're not small spiders, and they're nasty spiders. Here's another wonderful spider picture for those of you who like that sort of thing. Now, where are these babies located? So you don't freak out. You know, it's centered on Sydney, north to the Central Coast, south to the Illawarra region, and west to the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. They can be found in moist microhabitats under logs and foliage. These are mostly terrestrial spiders, favoring habitats with like sand and clay. And they're creepy, and they're super poisonous. I mean super duper poisonous. All right. So Julian Caesar says, I'm moving to Antarctica. Not a bad, I wouldn't blame you. So here's the deal. These suckers, why are they called the Sydney funnel web? Well, here's why right here. See that web that looks like a funnel? See that? How it does that like it does? Here's an even better one of the funnel. Look at that. There you go. There's your funnel web. Is anybody like feel creepy now, the back of their neck because of these pictures? Usually they build silk-lined tubular burrows, retreats with collapsed tunnels or open funnel entrances. And you can't really see them in any of these pictures, but they have these trip lines that are on the ground outside of the funnel, right? You know? Now, there are exceptions to this. Some of them have trap doors, and sometimes this silk funnel is split, so it looks like a Y or a T. So the spiders burrow in here, in the moist, humid climate, into the clay or the sand, or under rocks or logs or rough bark trees. Those trip lines are very important. I'll tell you why in just a second. So when potential prey, which usually is insects, beetles, cockroaches, millipedes, lizards, or frogs, which is a little scary, walk across these trip lines, the spider rushes out and immediately injects the venom. And that's bad news for whatever the venom gets injected into, because it is deadly, 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 deadly. Yeah. So the male spiders tend to wander during the warmer months of the year. They look around all over the place, and that's bad. That's when, you run into one if you're not near a log or a rock or whatever else. And why are they doing that? Well, kids, why do males of any species wander? It's for the act of physical love. They're looking to mate with female spiders, okay? They're walking around going, hey, good looking, we'll be back to pick you up later. They're trying to meet girls. So that's why encounters with male Sydney funnel web spiders are more common. And that's why sometimes they wander into backyards or houses, or they fall into swimming pools a lot because the water moist. Sadly, these spiders can survive immersion for up to 24 hours, trapping air bubbles on their hair, around their abdomen. Yeah. Then they do this mostly at night, because they can get dehydrated during the day. And who doesn't? That's why it's important to hydrate. During the day, they seek cover in cool, moist hideaways. After heavy rain, the activity is increased as their burrows may be flooded. Everything that happens in the world basically makes them go out, find humans, bite them, and then you die. When threatened to provoke, the funnel web spiders will display aggressive behavior, rearing up on their hind legs, as this one's doing, and displaying their fangs. And you see the fangs in the front there. That's charming. That's just charming. When biting, the funnel web spider maintains a tight grip on its victim, almost always biting repeatedly. As if one bite wouldn't do the trick, they got to overdo it. They got to take that too far. And you know what else? The male spider is more deadly than the female, which makes it even worse that they're the ones that wander and aggressive and all that. Even though you may have heard in the song, the female of the species is more deadly than the male. Not always true. Frankly, it is true a lot of times in nature, but this is not one of those times. Now, before I get into what you all came for, the description of bites to humans and the venom and the symptoms of the venom. I know why you're here. I'm not mad at you, but don't kid yourself that I don't know. You don't go to a NASCAR race for the race. You go for the crashes. This is why you come for the spider episode. I get it. I do. Get to some of your comments. Christian Slater says, I'll send you a press pass, Tom. I don't need one. When it's at the press junket, I get validated by the junket people. You don't have to send me a press pass. You could invite me to your palatial Southern California home. That'd be nice. Christian Slater, commenting on one of our pictures, says, that's a beautiful, menacing spider. Let's see here. He also says, have you ever seen an extraterrestrial spider? No, I haven't. Oh, wait. I have seen Ziggy Stardust and the spiders from Mars. Does that count? Christian Slater with a variety of spider webs. I noticed none of them have trip lines. Goat Scroat says he is genuinely terrified. Julian Caesar says, I was bitten by a giant millipede once, so I'm all for these guys. Goat Scroat says, can someone clip Tom saying, the act of physical love? Anyone can. You can download the audio podcast on Podbean tomorrow. I think it'll be updated. Julian Caesar says, and incorporate that clip into an AI song. You guys can do whatever you want. I have no power to stop you. Julian Caesar says, if something has fangs, don't play with it. I agree 100%. That spider's going to pounce. It doesn't look like it's about to pounce. Terry Nee is here. Always great to see him. In theory. He says, hello, Tom. By the way, just another reminder to like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell, all those absolutely free things you can do to help us out with the show and the algorithm. And we also have super chats and memberships, and we haven't had any of those in forever. And our goal every single day is, of course, as usual, any amount of money. We also have the PayPal, where you give the most, I get the most. Google does nothing. Google doesn't get anything if you do that. It's a beautiful thing. And I don't have to wait until the 22nd of every month to get it. Also, the TomGulleyShow.com has a whole bunch of new podcasts on it. You can also go to our Podbean site that has all the podcasts on it. And that's all in the description of the show. Or a little searching might do it as well. A little Google searching. It's TomGulleyShow.com also has our store, our Cafe Press store, also in the description of the show. I'm not kidding you. There's like 130 items and 2 different designs. So it's almost 300. I mean, we got shot glasses, we got hats, we got clocks, we got coffee mugs, we got T-shirts, we got long sleeves T-shirts, we got ladies T-shirts, we got hoodies with zippers, we got beer mugs, we got it all, man. It's all there. It's all there. Trini has a look of dismay and an emoji. The chef says, I can show every night with about, I sure can show every, I don't know what that means. Oh, I share the show every night with 10 to 15 people. Thank you. Thank you. We need those shares. We need you telling your friends. Terry Nee is, in his super hilarious way, giving the show 99 cents. Google will take 30% of that. Whoa. Hey now, Terry Nee has gifted 1 Tom Gulley Show membership. Hey, everybody, big hand for Terry Nee. Those gifted memberships are the gift that keeps on giving. I don't know who got it. Usually the person who gets it is someone who hates me a lot, but that subscribe to the show so they could tell me that they hate me in the chat room. So that person got a gifted membership. I'm Sky. Thank you, Sky, for the $1.99. I appreciate that. And he also put a spider emoji in there. So Terry Nee has gifted 5 Tom Gulley Show memberships. Well, maybe Terry Nee heard our new holiday song, which I will play again at the end of the show, and he is filled with the spirit of Christmas. And now 5 people that hate me will get a gifted membership, which, if you know Terry Nee, would make him probably pretty happy. Anyway, thank you, Terry Nee. I appreciate that. I honestly do. I know you're on a fixed income, being an older fellow. Terry Nee says, you are the man. Oh, Julian Caesar says, Terry Nee, you are the man. And Randy says, I don't hate you, but I'd like one. This is Randy, the chef himself. All right, now the thing you all came for. First, I'm going to show you another funnel. There's another funnel. There's the spider doing its evil business on something. Looks like a 50s horror movies, but you can see those tripwires irradiating out from the funnel there, probably better than elsewhere. Let me show you a good biting picture. This is a good biting picture right here while I tell you. It's not necessarily a great, this is probably a better biting picture, but this one here, the spider's big and in focus and looks creepy. So there you go. Terry Nee says, my Grinch heart grew 5 sizes. Yes. You're a sly one, Mr. Nee. You really are a cat. You're a... Anyway. All right. Let's see. The lethal dose of venom in humans, of venom from the city funnel web. This is actually scarier, is not known. That's scarier than if we actually knew what the dose is. We don't. The lethal dose of venom from male Sydney funnel web spiders is it gives an example for the crab-eating macaw. I don't care about that. Higher figures were found for other experimental animals. The average venom yield, here we go, for the male is 0.81 milligrams. In doses of the order of 5 milligrams, administered intravenously, delta ultracotoxin, that's it. The active compound in the venom kills monkeys, 5 milligrams, kills monkeys in 3 to 4 hours. And the symptoms in the monkeys were dyspnea, which is shortness of breath. You can't breathe. Blood pressure fluctuations, culminating in severe hypotension. That's low blood pressure. You just lose all your blood pressure. Lacrimation, meaning you're going to cry. It's just tears. Salivation, that's known as, in the state of Indiana, it's known as slobbering. Skeletal muscle fasciculation, which is twitching, and death. So what happens is, all right, you can't breathe, your blood pressure goes up and down, culminating in super low blood pressure, crying, slobbering, and you're twitching. So you're twitchy dude. Delta atracotoxin is an ion channel inhibitor, okay, which makes the venom highly toxic for humans and other primates. However, it does not affect the nervous system of other mammals. The Sydney funnel web spider typically delivers a full envenomation when it bites, often striking repeatedly due to the defensiveness of the species and the presence of large, what they call cheliceral fangs. Okay? Basically, those are jaws. Okay? The fangs are very articulated, and there's a jaw-like movement to them, which, as you all know, I mean, we're not arachnology specialists, but we do know that makes them about 50 times creepier, I think. Yeah. There is no reported case ever of severe envenoming by a female Sydney funnel web spider, which is consistent with the finding that the venom of the female specimens is less potent than the venom of their male counterparts. The males are the ones to be scared of, and those are the ones that wander and wind up in your pool, floating there for 24 hours. That's just things just get worse. In the case of severe envenomation, that's just being bitten a whole bunch of times, the time to the onset of symptoms is less than an hour. Yes. With one study finding a median time of 28 minutes. And the same study, probably not to anybody's surprise, revealed that children are at particular risk, with 42% of all cases being children. You know why? Because they play with big black spiders. Why? Because they're dumb. Why? Because they're children. They haven't learned yet. It's not their fault, but they're dumb. They haven't learned. Although you would think they're primordial, oh my God, that thing looks so creepy, I want to run the other way for a week. No, they I don't know. Again, there's a certain Darwin-esque thing. Maybe we need to thin out maybe that's nature's way of getting rid of the people that are going to crash their car into you as an adult. I don't know. I just know that I'm not upset at the people that think that. There is at least one recorded case of a small child dying within 15 minutes of a bite from a Sydney funnel web. The bite itself is initially, just to make things even greater, very painful. Yes. Not enough, because some spiders bite you, and you might feel a little bit of the bite, because it's got sharp, jabby things. But it doesn't have a lot of pain associated with it. It swells up, it throbs, it does things, but it's not a lot of pain. This one, initially, very painful. Just to add to the fun, right? With clear fang marks separated by several millimeters. Well, if you look at the fangs on this sucker, what, are you kidding me? Yeah, of course you're going to see fang marks. In some cases, just to make things even better, it just keeps getting better with this evil spider. The spider will remain attached until dislodged by shaking or flicking it off. Isn't that great? It clings to you and just... Symptoms can include nausea, vomiting, lots of secretion of saliva, which is just unnecessary. You didn't have to do that. That wasn't necessary. By the way, I am Sky. Thank you for the additional 99 cents. I very much appreciate that. Also, and another 99 cents. Well, jeepers creepers. That's, is that continued bites there with like fangs, 99-cent fangs? Also, muscular twitching and difficulty breathing And on another 99 cents. Wow, Sky, thank you. So you're nauseous, you're puking, you're salivating, you got the slobbering fits. Anybody? The movie Old Yeller? Died of the slobbering fits. Anyway, muscular twitching, you're twitching, you're twitchy. Difficulty breathing, disorientation and confusion, leading to the sweet release of unconsciousness. Sky with $1.99. Thank you, Sky. That is extremely generous. I appreciate it. Now, I'm going to leave you in limbo here to get some of these comments, and then I'll tell you about the treatment. The treatment. Let's see here. Gosh, man, there's a lot of them. Christian Slater asked, Tom, where do baby spiders come from? Okay, sometimes when a daddy spider and a mommy spider like each other a whole lot, you'll learn the rest in health class. Julian Zezer says that's the Darth Vader of spiders. It really is. It really is. I'm here to put you back on schedule. The force is strong with this one. Let's put the male and the female up here just for Christian Slater. Sometimes goes that's good biting. It is good biting. Julian Zezer says there are 8 legs and then those 2 ludicrously oversized fangs. Yes, they're not right. Goat says, I didn't know how much I needed a Tom Gulley Christmas album till just now. Well, let me tell you, you're going to get to hear our new Christmas song at the end of the show in about 21 minutes, and it's going to change your Christmas experience, really. Terry Nee says, I just spent $37 to have a cheese pizza and breadsticks delivered for my granddaughter. I figured I'll share the wealth. I know. What happened? Terry Nee, we're gentlemen of around the same age. Remember when, what's going on with my camera? Okay, when for like $12, you could get a large pizza, breadsticks, and a 2-liter of Coke, and you could write a check for it so that even if you didn't have the money in the bank, if you got paid the next day, you could throw it in there and beat the thing to the bank by 2 or 3. You know what I mean? What happened? Now, get a medium pizza delivered to your house. It's $50. With tip, and there's already a driver fee in there. It's like I'm paying for the driver and I got a tip. Julian Zezer says, who do you like better, your granddaughter or Tom Gulley? Ooh. Terry Nee says, tears of blood. Yes. Yeah, Terry, who do you like better, me or your granddaughter? Julian says, flip a coin. You were the granddaughter. He also says, Chris Slater, have you ever seen a professional about your bizarre arachnophilia? And Christian's response to that is to post a bunch of spider and web emojis. Goat says, these spiders sound like real big jerks. They are, man. The chef says, maybe this senior lecturer could help Christian. Yes, she might be able to. I've got a phone call into her. I got to contact her again tomorrow. Stupid kids. Terry Nee's right. Stupid kids playing with deadly spider. Dumb kid. Julian Zezer says, children with extremely bad eyesight seem especially susceptible to spider bites. That's probably how it works. Julian Zezer says, Sky, your logo reminds me of the Fender guitar logo. Apropos of nothing, just something about the font. Goat says, yes. Julian Zezer says, harmonica doesn't seem to go with Christmas music. There's no harmonica. There's a lot of sax. A lot of sax in it. Sky says, I miss back when I could send more than just one pizza and a Dr. Pepper as cash on delivery. Yeah, man. Those days are gone. I can remember Like if I got paid on a Friday, on Thursday night, you're right at the end of your paycheck. You don't maybe have a lot of money when you're first starting out, and you could get that pizza, write that check, get your paycheck the next day, and you would beat the check you wrote to the bank by a couple of days. They would never have it by the next day. Never. Never. Especially after we got direct deposit at some point. But all right, let's get to the treatment on these little beauties. Let's get to the treatment. Randy's got to go. The chef's got to go. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Thanks for stopping by there, Chef. We appreciate that. A Sydney funnel web spider bite is regarded as a medical emergency requiring immediate hospital treatment. Immediate. Guidelines recommend 2 vials of antivenom, 4 if the symptoms of envenomation are severe. Patients are assessed every 15 minutes with further vials recommended if symptoms do not resolve. And luckily, they keep records for this kind of thing because, people are competitive. The most vials that have been used to treat a bite is 12 for a 10-year-old boy who was bitten in February of 2017 by a male Sydney funnel web that was hiding in a shoe. And you're welcome, everybody, for the next 3 weeks of you looking inside your shoe before you put it on. The antivenom was developed by a team headed by Struhan Sutherland at the Commonwealth Serum Laboratories in Melbourne. Since the antivenom became available in 1981, there have been no recorded fatalities from a Sydney funnel web spider bite. In September 2012, stocks of antivenom were running low, and people were asked to catch the spiders so they could be milked for their venom. 1 dose of antivenom requires around 70 milkings from a Sydney funnel web spider. How do you milk us? Never mind. I think they get like a jar or something. They put this rubber thing over it and then put it up to the spider and it bites it and the venom. I think that's the same way as snakes. I would assume. I don't know. I wasn't there. The Australian Reptile Park receives Sydney funnel web spiders as part of its milking program. In January of 2016, the first Sydney funnel web cheese was... No, I'm kidding. I made that up. I sometimes am forced to amuse myself. In January of 2016, they received a male Sydney funnel web with a 10-meter leg span. And 10 meters is about 4 inches. 10 centimeters, 10 meters is like 30 feet. 10 centimeters. 2.5 centimeters is an inch. Always remember that. So 10 centimeters, 4-inch leg span, described by the park as the largest specimen it had ever seen. And ooh mama, the delicious milk. Anyway. And that, ladies and gentlemen, sadly or thankfully, is all I got to tell you about the Sydney funnel web spider. I do, however, have to tell you that tomorrow night on the show, we will be discussing legendary B-movie filmmaker, a guy that gave Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Ron Howard, and countless other Academy Award winners their start in the movie business, Mr. Roger Corman. We'll be covering him tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, we will discuss the Indiana State Fair Coliseum explosion, which killed 81 people. And then on Thursday, we will discuss the puzzling and inexplicable disappearance without a trace of news anchor Jody Huizentrout. And that's a that one has got so many, what? Yeah, that's what's coming up. That's what's coming up on the big show. So let's get back to some of your comments. People saying goodbye to the chef. Chef Goat says, Tom, do any bugs or animals give you the heebie-jeebies? Well, almost all bugs do. I don't think there's any animals that do, but all bugs do. And that's why all bugs must die. You know, bugs outnumber us like 1,000,000,000 to 1. There's way more bugs. You gotta, every time you see one, make sure and kill it. Unless it's a bee. We need the pollination. But other than that, trust me, if they didn't do that, then we could. But Julian Zeter says, what does a spider milkmaid look like? I don't know, but I'm sure there's an OnlyFans. Or Terry Nee says, a stool and hand pumping. You are twisted. For all your spider milking needs, a stool and hand pumping and a bucket where you can, when it's empty, hear the water hitting it. Julian Zeter says the Subaru A-Trax for all your off-road recreational needs. Oh, brother, you guys are good. Does a brown recluse spider make chocolate milk? God, I don't know. Those spiders. Look, this spider is horrifying. The way it kills you is horrifying. Everything's horrifying about it. But a brown recluse, when it bites you, your skin, it's necrotic. Your skin just keeps kind of sloughing off of your body for... Anyway. Goat says, why are Indiana fairs so damn dangerous? It's... their way of testing us. See if we're tough enough to continue living in Indiana. Indiana is barely civilized, says Julian Zeter. Look, I'm from Indiana. And I should be offended by that, but I can't disagree with that. A lot of corn. Lots and lots of corn. Now, if you look at Indiana, it's almost like they're trying to make living there sort of a gauntlet that if you get out, you're amazing. For instance, Kurt Vonnegut, Michael Jackson, if you like music, Hoagie Carmichael, if you like music, David Letterman. I mean, there's people that get out of there, Larry Bird, that are amazing. And you kind of have to be. Nobody gets famous staying in Indiana. That does not happen. So, Terry Nee says, I agree. We are. I don't know what you're agreeing with, but I agree with what you're agreeing to about us. Christian Slater with more spiders. Yet again, more spiders. You can't get enough of them. I'll tell you what I could do right now. Chop, chop, toot, sweet, licky, toot. I could play our holiday song and then immediately after that play The Night the Spiders Attacked to take us out of the show. If that's something you'd be interested in, I will do it right now. Because I got nothing else. That's it. There's no more show. It's over. There's no more valuable content. There's no more witty banter. I've spent myself on all that. I've got to save some for tomorrow night's show about Roger Corman, which is going to be a banger, by the way. I'm going to do that one on OBS because I got like 25 photos for that. It's Terry Nee says, we are Penn State. Thanks for agreeing. Oh, you mean Penn State, who Indiana University beat on the last play of the game? The number one ranked football team in the nation, Indiana University. I think I did see that game. Despite says, oh no, did I miss the spiders? Well, in one sense you did, But in another sense, despite, you can watch this show back. You haven't missed a thing. And just to make you happy, there's some spiders. Let me get rid of your deal here. There's a spider. Well, hell, for you, despite, I'll even put it big thing. And there's a spider. These are all the Sydney funnel web spider. There's another spider picture. There's another one. Here's the funnel itself, the legendary funnel of the Sydney funnel web. No relation to funnel cakes. There's another funnel, and there's another funnel, and now back to one. So there we go. The female spider's asking, do you think I have a fat abdomen? No, I think you have a very svelte thorax. Judy Tester says, licky tooth, that sounds like some kill stream lingo. I don't follow all of your internet beefs. I've never seen the kill stream, I don't think. That Mendoza kid is pretty great. Signetti did a bang-up job for that team. Yes, he did. Once we found out that you could pay players, yes. And we didn't apparently realize that players had been being paid for the previous 150 years. Thanks, Tom. Anything for you, despite. Anyway, so I'm looking at that old clock on the wall. Tomorrow night, Roger Corman. Wednesday night, the Indiana State Fair Coliseum explosion. 81 people killed. I know you guys like gore and violence, so that's why I keep mentioning it. And then Thursday, the inexplicable, puzzling disappearance of news anchor Jody Huisentruit. 1995. Still looking for her. And with all that being said, you're going to get to hear our new holiday song. You're going to love this. You're going to absolutely love this. I promise you. I promise you you're going to love this. You're going to love it to death. Sky says, I still don't know what a kill stream is. And Terry Nee says, I have that clock on the wall too. Yes, that old clock on the wall says, like the Reverend Al Green, I got to get on up out of here. You do not have to go home, but you can't stay here. And our musical director, Leon Kennedy, has provided us with another amazing song. And that's what's going to take you out. And we're going to follow it up with The Night the Spiders Attacked. Because after all, how many spider occasions are we going to have to play the song? Please like, share, subscribe, retweet, notification bell. It only costs you a click. Only costs you a click, man. It helps so much. For just about a cup of coffee a day. Anyway. With all that being said, I think the only thing left to say is, till next time, we'll be playing this song all through the holidays. Till next time, we'll see you next time.
Snow is falling soft tonight. Windows glowing warm and bright. But Christmas doesn't feel the same till I hear that golden name. Tom Gulley on the radio, spinning tunes that steal the show. It's a very gully Christmas. Every heart begins to shine. Even spiders start to shiver in their webs like silver lines. Yeah, very gully Christmas. Hear that rhythm, sweet and good. Sweet and good. Bigfoot's listening from the treetops, grooving deep within the wood. Frost is dancing on the pane. Candles flicker in the lane. Spiders sway with all 8 feet, keeping to that perfect beat. And Bigfoot hums that mellow tune underneath the winter moon. It's a very gully Christmas, where the joy just rolls along. Spiders tapping in and soft and discreet. Turned around and saw some spiders dancing on their feet. All their legs were shiny gold, and the rhythm pure heat. He thought, hold on, baby, these little fellas groove kind of crazy, and the whole room lit like a disco dream. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Tom Gulley smiling, feeling all the impact. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on the night. Oh, the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked. Christian Slater walks in with his Hollywood stride, leather jacket shimmering, grin open wide. He saw those tiny dancers moving side to side. Didn't take a minute for the man to join the ride. Every spider in the room kept the groove amplified. The lights flickered bright like a Motown stage. Silky harmonies floating like we'd turn a new page. Spiders tapping rhythm like a miniature band. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked, but with disco hearts, baby, nothing got whacked. Skittering, jittering, never losing the tact. Groove so smooth it bordered on abstract. Oh, honey, no one got sacked on the night, the night, the night the spiders attacked. Oh, that was the night the spiders attacked. Silver legs shimmering in every move exact. Glittering, gliding, keeping all the rhythm packed. Groove so heavy, every heartbeat